must have been for Ned Fulmer. The Try Guys YouTube series began with BuzzFeed, and it starred Ned Fulmer alongside Keith Habertsberger, Eugene Lee Yang, and Zach Cornfield. But it grew an audience of millions on the publication's platform before the guys realized, hey, why aren't we making a dime for our boss's dollar? And they went independent with Try Guys, as they rightfully should. Together, creating entertaining content for their masses, each Try Guy kinda had their own shtick. And Ned's was that he branded himself as the ultimate family man. His wife Ariel Fulmer was his entire personality, and he was supposed to be the wholesome one. But then came September of 2022, a little over 10 years after the couple, who shared 2 children, tied the knot. The persona Ned built came tumbling down. News broke via a Reddit chain that showed pictures of Ned cheating on his wife Ariel with Alexandria Herring, a producer at their company. The news and aftermath were an absolute whirlwind, and it resulted in Ned being kicked to the curb post a thorough internal review the same day the news broke. According to a video released by the 3 remaining members of the Try Guys the following month, a unanimous decision had been made to oust Ned, who wouldn't make any appearances on any more pre-recorded material going forward, but Ariel would. The story of a hidden love child forces one man to step down. Next up is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, around May of 2011, there were rumors beginning to arise that Arnold had an affair with his longtime housekeeper, Mildred Patricia Baena, who's even fathered an illegitimate child with her, named Joseph, who bears a striking resemblance to the action star. These rumors ended up becoming so intense, Arnold is forced to step away from Governor of California role lest he face angry voters. But naturally, he and his wife Maria Shriver denied everything like crazy at first, until his wife took a step back to reevaluate the situation. The fact he'd suddenly upped how much they paid the housekeeper, the accused love child really did look like him, the fact that Mildred would have conceived at the time Maria Shriver was away working, and so Maria Shriver separated and filed for divorce from Arnold. This spawned a new wave of rumors, which finally confirmed by Arnold himself in May of 2011. He finally states that Maria left him because he'd come clean about the love child in a therapy session, whose creation he described as one of his biggest mistakes in life. His unexpected admission to the newspaper include another not so insignificant detail, that he only acknowledged the existence of the child whom he supported financially from a distance to his wife Maria shortly after stepping down from office. So, a classic for Twilight fans out there was Kristen Stewart's affair. When British director Rupert Sanders was chosen to helm Universal Pictures' fairy tale live-action Snow White and the Huntsman for his feature film debut, it seemed like the start of a promising career. But just a few weeks after the 2012 film's lackluster debut, he and the Huntsman star, Kristen Stewart, really top off the movie's bad press when they're captured by paparazzi making out. So, Stewart had cheated on her Twilight co-star, Robert Pattinson, and Sanders was unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Liberty Ross, with whom he had 2 kids. Both released public apologies. Kristen's is particularly desperate and brutal, and it doesn't help either of them. Ross and Sanders ended up divorcing, can you pause it there? And nothing substantial transpired between Stewart and her boss, who were both then dropped from the film's sequel casting. Her career takes a massive hit, and she loses several other roles and endorsements, and faces harsh criticism from the press and the public. Kristen also had to deal with the fallout of her relationship with Pattinson, who she described as her first love, which ended shortly after the affair's exposed. While Stewart's career has started to bounce back following the scandal, it took Sanders even longer to secure a second feature directorial gig with 2017's Ghost in the Shell, which was then crushed by critics. When your producer cheats, you divorce and fire him. Next up is Robert Mutt Lange. It's a saga worthy of a country song. Shania Twain and her ex-husband slash producer, Robert John Mutt Lange, were one of the music industry's biggest power couples. Their split later became one of its biggest scandals. So Shania Twain's 14-year marriage to the music producer Robert Mutt Lange came crumbling down when she found out her best friend, Marie Anne Thibault, and Lange had been having an affair since 2008. News she couldn't accept at first when Marie Anne's husband, Frederick Thibault, told her. But by 2010, Shania is divorcing her husband and firing him as her producer. It was like I was kicked off my own bus while it was moving full speed, the Grammy winner told Red Book magazine in April 2011. But there's a very strange, happy ending here. Shania may have lost a best friend and a husband, but she gained a new love in her ex-best friend's now ex-husband. To quote her, "We slowly became very, very good friends," Twain told Ellen in 2011. "We had many months of just trying to make sense of everything, holding each other up. It was a very difficult time emotionally for both of us. I would say he was probably stronger than I was. He was a tremendous support. We were a support to each other and really found something beautiful in the end and unexpected." The couple then married in January of 2011. Ime Udoka was suspended from the Boston Celtics after allegedly cheating on his partner of 13 years, Nia Long, with a member of staff. News broke in September 2023 that he had been temporarily axed from the team following reports that he had violated their code of conduct by engaging in improper, intimate, and consensual relations with a colleague. And this public announcement is how Nia Long found out. Can you imagine finding out from your husband's workplace that he cheated on you when they put him on public blast? That's traumatizing, especially considering the couple who first met back in 2010. Can you pause it there? Share a 13-year-old son named Kez, who also found out what dad did the same way. A few months after the news of Ime's alleged affair surfaced, a representative for Nia claimed to the clamoring for quotes press that the longtime couple were no longer together, but were remaining fully committed to co-parenting their son. Soon enough, the actor wound up discussing the devastating ordeal for herself in a candid chat with Hollywood Reporters, stating that, "I think the most heartbreaking thing of all of this was seeing my son's face when the Boston Celtics organization decided to make a very private situation public," she said. "It was devastating, and it still is. He still has moments where it's not easy for him," she went on. "If you're in the business of protecting women, I'm sorry. No one from the Celtics organization is even called to see if I'm okay, to see if my children are okay," she added. "It's very disappointing." Next up is a reality show nightmare with a snappy nickname, Scandival. Does someone quitting a show over a scandal count? I'm going to count it for this list. If you weren't a Vanderpump Rules fan, to fill you in, the controversy was over Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix, the two longtime stars of the Bravo reality show. The two had been dating for 9 years when, without warning in March, it's revealed they'd broken up. Yeah, it turns out Sandoval had been cheating on his girl of 9 years with her best friend and co-star Raquel Leviss. And not only was the affair confirmed, but much of the aftermath played out in public on Vanderpump Rules reunion special. Madix now says she has no interaction with Sandoval or Leviss. Meanwhile, Leviss had a complete breakdown over the consequences of her own actions and quit the show before checking herself into a mental health facility. All the while, the man in the middle, Sandoval, is still holding on and making statements about how he fought so hard for Leviss and was fully in love with her, but she shooed him away when the scandal broke. Should have shoot his ass off a cliff. A famous cheater to get the can was Scott Disick. Kourtney Kardashian's on again, off again relationship with Scott is a thing of pop culture legend at this point. They finally called it quits for what seems likely to be forever in 2015, but not before rumors of Scott cheating on multiple occasions surfaced as being the reason why. Scott and Kourtney were only on and off because the man could literally just not keep it in his pants. He was a brutal serial cheater. Kim and Khloe Kardashian once found texts that to another woman on his phone, and after that, pictures of him partying on a boat with his ex hit the internet, prompting their last breakup. It's famously known in Keeping Up with Kardashian fanbase that Scott really didn't realize what he had in Kourtney until it was too late. And now he spends his time moaning and groaning over what he could have had with the mother of his children. Ultimately, in 2017, it leads to Scott being given the can by Kris Jenner from Keeping Up with the Kardashians for his unchanged way and exhausted role in the household. And while it never got him fired, Hugh Grant's affair demolished his career for several years, and it's so iconic I decided to slip it into this list. So, the British actor who had just achieved playing the lead role in 4 Weddings and a Funeral was meant to be in Hollywood to promote his latest film, 9 months, when he decided, as a local paper said, to take a walk on the wild side. He cruises down LA's notorious Sunset Strip at night. It's here he meets Divine Brown, real name Estella Marie Thompson, a local working girl who he paid $60 to give her some bruised knees. Catch my drift. Grant and Divine are caught and arrested, not for the adulterous act, but for the fact the adulterous act was happening outside in a public space. Grant, the long-term partner of actress Liz Hurley, was quick to release a statement of regret to the press. But it was Divine Brown who the press really wanted. News of the World gets the scoop from her, paying her $100,000 for her story, which was a blow-by-blow account and a now famous sentence Grant told her. "I always wanted to sleep sleep with a black woman? That's my fantasy. The tabloids went crazy with it. The revelations came days before Grant faced sentencing and became a media circus. The actor, who did not attend the court, was ordered to pay a fine of $1,000. Having violated a custodial sentence, Grant's career rehabilitation began with an interview on NBC's primetime Tonight Show with host Jay Leno to apologize to the world. But the damage was done. The bust occurred 2 weeks before the release of 9 Months with Julianne Moore. Rotten Tomatoes gave it the approval rating of 23%. He co-starred then with girlfriend Elizabeth Hurley in Extreme Measures, and it flops. Mickey Blue Eyes flops as well. So it kicks off a 3-year-long hiatus, ending his relationship with Hurley as well. It wouldn't be until 1999 the hit Notting Hill gives Grant a comeback. Divine Brown, by the way, pleaded no contest to engaging in lewd conduct in a public place at her hearing, and having violated her probation for previous working girl charges, was given an 180-day prison sentence. As Brown did not have to serve her sentence for 4 months, she had time to travel to the UK to promote Fantasy Channel, an adult station launched on satellite the same year, and even do some modeling. Speaking to The Guardian at the time, Brown said she hoped to run into Hugh Grant while she was in the UK. Kevin Hunter was fired and divorced. 2 birds, 1 stone for Wendy Williams, who had her estranged husband employed on her show as a producer. The Wendy Williams show host claimed for the first time in her 2001 memoir, Wendy's Got the Heat, that her husband had cheated on her, prompting her to hire a private investigator to trail him. 16 years later, Hunter was accused of cheating on Williams again after being spotted out and about in New Jersey with massage therapist Sharina Hudson. Reports then surfaced that the TV producer and Hudson had been romantically involved for more than a decade, which he and Williams then deny. But then in March 2019, Hudson gives birth to a baby amidst widespread speculation that Hunter's the father. A month later, the TV personality is filing for divorce from Hunter after more than 21 years of marriage. And then another week later, Hunter's fired from his job on her daytime talk show. To quote, Kevin Hunter is no longer an executive producer on Wendy Williams' show. Debmar Mercury wishes him well in his future endeavors. And to end things off, it's the beloved on-air affair. I've never seen an affair be so well loved, but it wasn't a so good An American Morning when the Daily Mail splattered 64 images of Good Morning America co-hosts Amy Robach and TJ Holmes feeling each other up in November of 2022. Given that both parties, were publicly known to be married at the time, the Amy Robach and TJ Holmes scandal began at the end of 2022, but as announced recently by the pair on their Amy and TJ podcast, they were ready to go public with their romance and respective in-process divorces at the time of those photos being taken, which they both insist was in motion before being caught. On December 5th, 2022, the duo were temporarily removed, can you pause it there, from the daytime television program as gossip about them reached a fever pitch. And even though Robach 50 and Holmes 46 had drafted respective statements to explain their sides of the story, they refrained from sharing them in order to not exasperate the issue. Maybe it would have been better if we'd released the statements, admitted Robach, but we were just trying to keep our jobs. This was 2 consenting adults who were each separated, a source close to them claimed. They were both broken up with their spouses in August within weeks of each other. But it didn't matter if they had broken up or not, because in early 2023, ABC President Kim Goodwin announced that the pair was leaving GMA. Not so amicably. They got the can.
Starting off our list at number 10 is Demi Lovato and Joe Jonas. The pair met on the set of Camp Rock where their characters sang and fell in love, so naturally, so did they. Demi openly admits to having a crush on Joe throughout their entire filming process, so she was nothing but thrilled when they got together as a real-life couple. In her 2017 documentary called Simply Complicated, Demi revealed that their first kiss was actually on camera and that the relationship only lasted a month or 2. We didn't really expect more than that. They were kids. But Joe opened up about the relationship and spoke more seriously on it, saying that Demi struggled with a drug addiction when they were dating, even though she was very young. He confessed that he only stayed with her because he felt like he had to help her. He said, I quote, I really got to know her and got to see the ins and outs of what she was struggling with, like drug abuse. I felt like I needed to take care of her, but at the same time I was living a lie because I wasn't happy but felt like I had to stay in it for her. Joe and Demi both admit that their love was young and short-lived, but they still have a lot of love for each each other as friends. At number 9 is Thomas Doherty and Dove Cameron, who fell in love on the set of a more modern Disney movie, Descendants 2. Disney fans watched their real-life relationship go from 0 to 100 in the matter of a couple months right in front of their eyes. Fans started speculating on their relationship long before they confirmed it on February 16, 2017. The news didn't really surprise anyone. They have been dating ever since and don't try to hide their love for each other in any way. Just look at their Instagrams. During an interview with Access Hollywood, Dove was asked if she'd ever work with Thomas again, and she said it didn't matter because he is the love of her life and she's his partner in real life, which is what matters. Currently they are being called the cutest Disney couple there is, and yes, at the time of this recording, they are still together. Up next at number 8 is Bella Thorne and Greg Sulkin. These two Disney Channel stars have had an on and off relationship throughout the years, and it all started on a Disney set. They met on the set when they both appeared on the 3rd season of Wizards of Waverly Place. They admit to having sparks for each other, you know, that young puppy love, but they didn't date until they were a little bit older. After falling in love while filming, Bella went on to star on her own show Shake It Up, and Greg was cast on Marvel's Runaways. They officially started dating in May 2015 and were together for over a year. They were totally couple goals, which is why fans were shocked when they announced that they decided to call it quits. They announced a joint statement to E! News saying, "After much thought and soul searching, we have made the difficult decision to end our relationship. We will always love each other and have a deep respect for one another, as we have each grown to be better people because of our time together." Bella later revealed that there was no animosity between them and tweeted out, "Things just didn't end up working the way we had hoped, but I'll always love the bub." They got cozy again for a short period in 2017, but it wasn't anything serious, they fooled us, and they just continued on as friends. Coming in at number 7 is Cole Sprouse and Allison Stoner. I gotta be honest here, I didn't even know they dated. That's probably because they were only like 11 years old when they started dating on the set of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. They met while filming and dated throughout the series. Allison revealed on a podcast that her first crush and first boyfriend ever was Cole. They were young throughout the relationship, so their immature breakup isn't all that surprising. Guess how they ended? Through text. Cole sent her a text that simply read, "It's not going to work out." Worst part is, he sent the breakup text on her birthday. Real mature, Cole. I mean, because they were so young, this is all just kind of adorable to me. Rumors went around that they had another short fling when they were older, but it just didn't seem to work out for them as a couple. She could always try for his twin brother Dylan. Swiping the number 6 spot is Hilary Duff and Aaron Carter. What an iconic duo at the time. We loved watching Hilary practically grow up on her hit Disney Channel series Lizzie McGuire, but one of our favorite moments from the show was when Aaron Carter did a cameo on the show, which just so happens to be where the two of them fell in love. How could we ever forget the episode where they kissed under a mistletoe? My 13-year-old self was dying inside. Actually, my 26-year-old self still is. The kiss soon led to the two of them dating in real life. They were together for over a year and a half before calling it quits. So, who was to blame for the heartbreaking split? Aaron. He left Hilary for Lindsay Lohan. I am spilling that tea for y'all right now. But these are cold hard facts, you guys. During an interview with Us Weekly back in 2014, Aaron spoke on it. He said, I quote, "I started dating Hilary on my 13th birthday. I was dating her for like a year and a half and then I just got a little bored, so I went and I started getting to know Lindsay, dating Lindsay." Meanwhile, Hilary has very much moved on and is now happily married with 2 children. Throughout the years though, Aaron has made comments saying that he will never give up on Hilary and calls her the love of his life. He kept posting these weird and creepy tweets where he declared his love for her. She publicly announced that his comments were making her uncomfortable. So it looks like she will always just be the one that got away. That's what you get for picking Lindsay Lohan. Halfway through the list at number 5 is Bridget Mendler and Shane Harper. They were each other's co-stars for years on the Disney show Good Luck Charlie. They openly admit that when they started to film the show together, they really didn't hit it off. They don't have a reason why, they just blame it on the fact that they were 16 when they met and they just didn't click. But 2 years later, their group of friends started to merge, and Bridget says that he was very persistent when wanting to go out with her, so she agreed to it. After that, the two of them continued to work together and also went on to date for over 4 years. They seemed as happy as they could be, which is why people were surprised when they ended in 2017. Rumors were going around for a few months speculating if they were over or not, but then Bridget confirmed it when she told the Humor Mill, "I'm single, so I guess that means I'm undateable." Here we are at number 4 with Victoria Justice and Cole Sprouse. Apparently Cole got around throughout his time on Disney. But this was just another case of puppy love. The two of them met on the set of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where Victoria was a guest on one of the episodes. Remember the episode where Cody accidentally enters a beauty pageant after following a girl named Rebecca into the dressing room? And during their pageant time, he became best friends with her, and then he drops out for her so that she can win. There is no way you forget this hilarious and adorable episode. Well, Rebecca was actually played by Victoria Justice, and when Cody let her win, she thanked him by giving him a little smooch on the lips. During the filming of this episode, the two of them started to date in real life, as kids of course, and just so you know, this was actually before Cole moved on to Allison Stoner. During an interview for Popstar, she talked about their on-screen kiss, saying it wasn't only their first kiss together, but it was her first kiss ever, and apparently it was filmed in front of a live audience, so it made it that much more uncomfortable. But she also said that even though the relationship didn't last long, they remained friends afterwards. Alright guys, at number 3 is Bradley Stephen Perry and Sabrina Carpenter. Bradley is mostly known for his role on Good Luck Charlie, and she's known for her role on Girl Meets World. They started dating in 2015, and the only reason we found out was because the way he asked her blew up online. He wrote her this adorable note in a bottle. So creative and so cute. All seemed well with the young couple, who technically fell in love for being on the set of a Disney Channel interview. We are giving them this honorable mention because they are so cute together. But they didn't work on a show together, but when working with Disney, you're often doing other projects and media stuff together in the same proximity. So I decided I'm gonna let them on this list. Sadly, their relationship only lasted a short period of time. Neither of them revealed what the exact reasoning was for their split, but it's been said that Sabrina's song, Smoke and Fire, was inspired by the relationship. So she is pulling a Taylor Swift, writing a song about her ex. She's pretty clever for a 19-year-old, I gotta say. In spot number 2 is Miley Cyrus and Nick Jonas. I had mixed emotions when I found out that they were dating. On one hand, I was like super excited because I was shipping them hard for so long, but on the other hand, I was convinced that I was going to marry Nick Jonas, so I was jealous. The two of them met on the set of Miley's show Hannah Montana, where apparently they fell in love on the first day of filming. It was back in 2006 when they met, and Nick's older brother Kevin said, I quote, "When he met Miley, I think that kid's head exploded." Apparently they started to date the first day that they met. They did not waste any time. They dated for a year, which brought drama because Selena Gomez also liked Nick at the time. It wasn't a nasty breakup though, and later in 2009 rumors were flying that they might be rekindling their relationship. I was so excited. But unfortunately, it was all just rumors. They remained friends throughout the years, but I'm pretty sure 90% of us Disney fans are still hoping that they will end up together somehow, even though he's married. But she just got separated, so like, you never know. Taking the number 1 spot on our list is Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron, because how could they not? They were our high school sweetheart inspiration. They met in 2005 on the set of the first High School Musical movie, where they fell in love and continued to date throughout the 3-movie series. Their characters Troy Bolton and Gabriella Montez fell in love in the movie, so it wasn't all that surprising when they locked it down off camera. They were going strong for a while, and we thought it would be a true Disney love story, but the two of them split in 2010 after dating for 5 years. No reason was ever confirmed until later in 2015 when Vanessa opened up about her relationship with Zac during an interview with the New York Times. She said that the relationship ended up making her really mean and would cause her to lash out. She admitted that Zac wasn't the issue, but it was the crazy obsessed girl fan base that he had. I was one of them. She said, "I went through a phase when I was really mean because I was so fed up. Girls were running after him and I was giving them death stares. Then I realized that's not what that's about. Spread the love, be a good person. They support you, be nice." There's no doubt that during that time they were very much in love, and to this day they both have very positive things to say about one another. Disney has a way of making people fall in love, but then ending on good terms.
Number 10, Justin Timberlake and Elisha Wainwright. Justin Timberlake and Elisha Wainwright made headlines when they were spotted holding hands during a night out in New Orleans. The two actors were shooting the movie Palmer, which is a drama about an ex-college football star who returns home after being in prison. The co-stars were photographed together getting cozy at a bar in Louisiana, sitting at a table holding hands and talking to one another. The photos showed Justin, who didn't appear to be wearing his wedding ring, holding hands with the actress under a table and drinking together. At one point, Elisha could be seen resting her hand on the singer's knee, and while he was standing up, putting his arm around her waist. The photos caused a huge scandal because he's been married to Jessica Biel since 2012. Their relationship was really being tested, and Justin had to make a public statement the following month, apologizing for his strong lapse in judgment, and claimed that despite the photos, nothing happened between him and his co-star. Number 9, Leanne Rimes and Eddie Cibrian. This affair was not exactly unique. In fact, it's a story so common in Hollywood that it borders on cliche. cliche. The actors were co-stars who met on the set of a Lifetime movie called Northern Lights. They immediately hit it off and the flirting began. But the kicker was that they were both already married at the time to other people. But hey, in classic Hollywood fashion, they didn't let that stop them, and not long after meeting, they were photographed having dinner together, and the rumor mill did the rest. After extreme press coverage of the affair, both Leanne and Eddie decided to make it official and separated from their respective spouses to be with each other. They eventually ended up tying the knot in 2011, but the story doesn't entirely end there. A few years later, Eddie was caught cheating on Leanne at Wendy Williams' 50th birthday party, but she claims she's unfazed by the whole thing and doesn't seem to mind if he flirts with other women. You know what they say, sometimes how you get them is how you lose them too. Number 8. Helena Bonham Carter and Kenneth Branagh. The two are believed to have begun their secret relationship on the set of the film Frankenstein in 1994, which Kenneth played the lead role and Helena played Frankenstein's adopted sister, Elizabeth. At the time, he had been married to Emma Thompson for 8 years, who was adored by fans. The two were even dubbed the golden couple by the British press, and seemingly had the perfect marriage, which is why the affair caused a massive scandal that rocked tabloids across the nation. They split in 1995, and years later, Emma has admitted that her tearful scenes in Love Actually were so persuasive because she had had her heart broken very badly by Kenneth. It was a little awkward because both actresses had to work together in the Harry Potter films, with Helena playing Bellatrix and Emma playing Professor Trelawney. But in 2013, she revealed that the two had made their peace years ago, and that the divorce was all blood under the bridge. But Emma even joked that she and her Harry Potter co-star were both slightly mad and a little bit fashion challenged, and she said, quote, "Perhaps that's why Ken loved us both." Number 7. Abby Cornish and Ryan Philippe. The actor first met Reese Witherspoon while starring alongside her in the 1999 movie Cruel Intentions. They actually fell so in love with each other that they ended up getting married that same year. But all good things must come to an end, especially Hollywood romances, and in 2008, Ryan started to get closer to his new co-star, Australian actress Abby Cornish, while they were filming the movie Stop Loss. The two of them seemed to be so comfortable being seen in public together that they were eventually caught having dinner together in a Texas restaurant, despite the fact that there were some curtains around the table. They were also caught together again just outside of Ryan's apartment. The affair was so in your face, it really wasn't funny. But it wasn't until Reese discovered intimate messages back and forth that were being exchanged between the two of them on his phone. Then it was clear that after 7 years of marriage and 2 children, Reese was ready to call it quits with Ryan, and later went on to marry talent agent Jim Toth, whilst Ryan and Abby's love affair eventually lost its spark. Number 6. Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys. The actors played secret KGB agents and love interests on the FX spy drama The Americans. The romance between the two sparked while on set, but there was just one problem. At the time, Kerry was still married to Shane Deary, with whom she had 2 kids. The two leads play like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and so naturally, many believe their steamy scenes were indicative of a real-life romance. At the time though, they both heavily denied it. When talking about their sex scenes, Matthew said, quote, "We've all done a million of them in this crazy life we sign up for." He said that eventually the clinical element of it kicks in, which sort of takes away from that embarrassment. But it's obvious that there was really something going on, as the two of them were shopping for furniture together at Christmas in 2013. Not long after, Kerry parted ways with her now ex-husband. Unlike most cheating scandals though, this one seemed to turn out quite well, as Kerry, Matthew and Shane reportedly go on vacations together and frequently dine out as friends. Not only that, but in 2016, Kerry and Matthew welcomed their first child together and became a blended family. Number 5. Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott. The Beverly Hills 90210 star and her husband, Dean McDermott, have been making headlines since their scandalous start. The two actors met on the set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, only a year after Spelling married her first husband, Charlie Shanahan. Dean was also married at the time for more than a decade to Mary Jo Eustace, with whom he shares a son. Tori and Dean began cheating on their spouses the night they met. In fact, she wrote about the affair in her 2009 memoir, quote, "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard. Then I noticed he had a wedding ring. When someone asked, he pulled out photos of his children, and oh yeah, I had a husband too." Yeah, there's no making that sound better. She went on to say that the couple ended up spending the night together despite the fact that they were both married. And she knew it was meant to be because when she woke up next to Dean the following day, she said she had no regrets. The two married and went on to have 4 children together before yet another cheating scandal rocked their relationship in 20 2013, this time with Dean and the Nanny. Number 4. Kate Hudson and Owen Wilson. The Hollywood stars had a massive cheating scandal while filming the 2006 comedy You, Me and Dupree, most likely because Kate was married to rock musician Chris Robinson for 6 years when she met Owen. The actors had a wild affair that lasted only 6 months, but it was definitely long enough to ruin Kate's relationship with her husband forever. Amid the rumors of infidelity, the Black Crowes singer ended up filing for divorce from Hudson in November 2006, citing irreconcilable differences and seeking joint custody of their then 2-year-old son Ryder. A month after the film opened in July, Kate and Owen were confirmed to be officially dating. But the affair didn't seem to stack up to anything, as the couple's relationship was short-lived, and they broke up less than a year later. As the public started to turn against the actress, she countered the speculation by telling Harper's Bazaar that's not what happened. But looking back at the 2006 press tour, it was pretty obvious that something was happening between them, because it got kind of inappropriate. Owen asked her about wearing a bikini in the film and whether she and her husband have ever had a third wheel experience. Number 3. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Many Hollywood romances have started on screen and bled into the real lives of the actors involved. The most iconic has to be that of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. The two engaged in a scandalous affair after meeting on the set of To Have and Have Not back in 1944. Bacall was only 19 when she first met Bogart, who was already an acclaimed Hollywood star and 25 years older than her. But that wasn't the only issue. At the time, Bogart was married to actress Mayo Methot, but their relationship was reportedly falling apart. Bacall confessed in her 1978 memoir that there was no clap of thunder or lightning bolt moment when she first laid eyes on him in 1943, but the actors became close on the set when she was nervous about the production and turned to her co-star for support. Just 3 weeks into filming, the pair shared their first kiss in her dressing room after a day of filming, and he asked her for her phone number, which she famously scribbled on the back of a matchbook. After that, they began meeting in secret places and using their on-screen names to disguise their identities. Bogart eventually divorced his wife in 1945 and married Bacall just 11 days later. Number 2. Sienna Miller and Daniel Craig. Scandal erupted in 2005 when Sienna Miller's confession of love to Daniel Craig was publicly broadcast to the world while she was still married to Jude Law. The two were co-stars in the 2004 film Layer Cake with Sienna, and at some point the two got a little bit closer than they did on screen. But how did the news of the affair get out? Well, that's the tricky part. A journalist hacked Daniel's voicemail, retrieving a message that came from Sienna's phone number. Both parties tried to discredit the audio tape at first, but when the hearing took place for the hacking trial, it was proven to be authentic. Sienna tried to play it off and told the court that she always ended phone calls saying "I love you," insisting it wasn't some huge declaration of love. She denied that the message meant she was in a relationship with Daniel, but she did admit to the court that they were briefly involved. Jude reportedly learned of his wife's affair from the newspaper story and called Daniel to confront him, because the two used to be close friends. Talk about messy. And coming in at number 1, Meg Ryan and Russell Crowe. In the 90s, Meg Ryan had a squeaky clean image thanks to her role as a leading lady in many rom-coms like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle. But her reputation took a huge hit when it emerged that she cheated on her then husband, Dennis Quaid, with her co-star Russell Crowe. Meg and Dennis had been married for 9 years and already shared a son together when she met Russell on the set of the 2000 thriller Proof of Life, and the pair had instant chemistry. But the affair reportedly caused awkwardness amongst the cast and crew, as the actress didn't even appear on the press tour because she was so worried that they would be asking her about it. In fact, the film's director, Taylor Hackford, blamed the cheating scandal for the film being a flop at the box office. Meg was publicly shamed, especially after she and Dennis officially announced their separation, because it allegedly put too much strain on their marriage. When she began dating her co-star, it really changed the public's perception of her as the quirky rom-com lead. In fact, she told The Guardian in 2003, quote, "I was all over the tabloids and I walked through the lobby and the place stopped. People stopped talking and stared at me." Goes to show you how sensational the affair was at the time. Number 10. Will Smith and Margot Robbie. In 2013, Star magazine published a bombshell allegation that Will Smith was caught cheating with his co-star Margot Robbie when they worked together on the movie Focus. The report actually claimed that in photo booth pictures that they found and published on their cover, Will appeared to be shirtless and Margot lifted up her own shirt to reveal her lingerie. The magazine also claimed that after they pulled the curtain back to take the pictures, they were getting very touchy-feely with each other in the dark. The scandal was massive at the time because Will is married to Jada Pinkett Smith, and back then they had yet to admit into having an open relationship. But the rumors soon died down as E! News revealed that the pictures were commissioned by production and that the entire cast and crew saw them being taken. It also came out that Will and Margot are absolutely just friends and there was nothing else going on between them. Even Margot was quick to deny everything on Twitter. Quote, "There's absolutely no truth to the ridiculous rumor. It's disappointing that goofing around on set could be taken so out of context." Well, people do tend to jump to conclusions. Number 9. Dominic West and Lily James. The actors were at the height of scandal when they were photographed getting cozy in Rome, all while filming their new series The Pursuit of Love in 2020. The pictures show the stars kissing, sitting at a cafe, standing on the Spanish steps, and riding tandem on a scooter looking very much to be on a date. Although Lily was single at the time, Dominic has been married to Catherine Fitzgerald for 10 years, and they have 4 children together. A source told The Sun that when Catherine saw the pictures, she was devastated and tried to get a hold of her husband, but he wasn't answering his phone. She was reportedly shocked by the whole thing because she didn't realize anything was going on. But only a few days later, there was a photo taken out the front of the couple's home with a note saying, "Our marriage is strong and we're very much still together. Thank you." Since the incident, James has kept quiet and cancelled various interviews to promote her latest film, Rebecca, which is probably a good decision considering the fact that both parties have not yet publicly talked about their affair since it occurred. Number 8. Chad Michael Murray and Paris Hilton. In 2003, Chad Michael Murray and Sophia Bush fell in love while filming the TV series One Tree Hill. 2 years later, they were married. However, they separated just 5 months later when rumors swirled that Chad had cheated on his wife with Paris Hilton, his co-star on the film House of Wax. During the time he and Paris both worked on the horror film together, they reportedly had an affair, according to Backstreet Boy Nick Carter, who was dating Paris at the time. But after separating, Chad and Sophia still had to keep working together for another 3 years on One Tree Hill. If that's not awkward, I don't know what is. It wasn't until 2011 that the actor decided to rethink the way in which he was living his whole life. Quote, "When you're young and you're thrown into something that I was definitely not ready for, I'm human and I screw up." But his ex-wife definitely took the whole affair much harder, and it's clear that his actions really affected her in the long term. In 2017, she wrote in Cosmopolitan that the scandal was a massive event in her life and the trauma of it was amplified by how public it became. She has also said that she feels the marriage was a joke and it did nothing but reduce her to a Hollywood statistic. Ouch. Number 7. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Jen and Brad got married in 2000 in a lavish Malibu wedding, and things were perfect for the Hollywood it couple until they suddenly announced their divorce in 2005. What happened exactly? Well, long story short is, Brad met Angelina for the first time on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the rest is history. Apparently the movie was filled with so much romantic tension, it was impossible for the two stars not to fall for each other. I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is probably the sexiest spy movie to ever exist, so it's easy to see how everything went down. But the problem was that Brad was still married to Jen. But he didn't let that stop him, and they allegedly still got together despite his marriage. To add insult to injury, he said about his marriage to Jen, quote, "I was trying to pretend the marriage was something that it wasn't. I'm satisfied with making true choices and finding the woman I love, Angie, and building a family that I love so much." That sounds pretty harsh, but it turned out that Brad and Angelina's relationship wasn't just a fling, and they actually went on to date for many years and had a large family before finally getting married in 2014. The love triangle was one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the early 2000s, and it still dominates the tabloids to this day. Number 6. Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. The actress and writer Carrie Fisher was never one to hold back when she had something to say, and in 2016 she shared a fascinating piece of history in her own memoir called The Princess Diarist. According to Carrie, she had a brief but very intense affair with her Star Wars co-star Harrison Ford while they were filming the movie in 1976. But what's really quite troubling is that People magazine reported that she was just 19 years old when the 3-month affair took place, while Harrison was 36 years old and married to his wife of 15 years, Mary Marquardt. To make matters worse, the couple also shared 2 kids together. In terms of sneaking around, Carrie actually said, quote, "It was Han and Leia during the week and Carrie and Harrison during the weekend." She also explained to The Guardian that the affair between them had eventually come down to unreciprocated love. She said that she'll always feel something for him. The Star Wars actress was so young at the time that they got together, and although she must have known it was wrong, it's hard to say that the blame rests completely on her. What's even sadder is that after Carrie died in 2016, Harrison never fully confessed to the affair, probably more out of shame for cheating on his wife. Number 5. Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The co-stars brought their on-screen romance into the real world after working together on the FX series Fargo. The pair appeared on season 3 of the anthology crime drama, which debuted in April of 2017. Only a month later, the actress announced on social media that she had split from her husband of 7 years, Riley Stearns. Following her separation, Winstead was spotted on a date, hooking up with McGregor in London, and cheating rumors were flying because although she was single, he was very much not. The train-spotting actor was still married to Eve Mavrakis at the time, with whom he shares 4 children. After the Emmy winner was spotted getting cozy with Winstead, fans began to wonder about the status of his marriage, but it wasn't until January of 2018 that his now ex-wife filed for divorce. But while the two managed to keep their romance relatively private, their relationship raised eyebrows even among their family members. In fact, in August of 2018, McGregor's daughter Clara had some strong feelings on the new relationship at the time. She took to Instagram to comment on a Mary Elizabeth Winstead fan page, quote, "Most beautiful and talented woman on earth? Oh man, y'all are delusional. This girl is a piece of trash." Wow. Number 4. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Although it's been over for decades, Nicole Kidman's marriage to Tom Cruise is still one of Hollywood's most talked about relationships. Cruise met Nicole Kidman on the set of the movie Days of Thunder, and the pair were instantly smitten with one another, and they soon started engaging in a torrid love affair. But at the time of meeting, you guessed it, the Top Gun actor was still married to Mimi Rogers, whom he wed in 1987. As it became clear that the affair was more than just a simple fling, Tom divorced his first wife in February of 1990, and less than 1 year later, he exchanged vows with Nicole in December of 1990. They even adopted 2 children, Isabella Jane and Connor Anthony, and eventually went on to make 2 more movies together as a couple. But as we all know, their marriage was far from perfect, and they ended up splitting a decade later in 2001. Looking back on the divorce, Nicole said, quote, "It took me a very long time to heal. It was a shock to my system. We were in a bubble, just the 2 of us. We became very dependent on one another." Number 3. Billy Crudup and Claire Danes. The massive scandal started in late 2003. Billy and his girlfriend of 8 years, Mary Louise Parker, who at the time was about 7 months pregnant with his son, broke up. The New York Post reported that the actor had moved on with his stage beauty co-star Claire Danes, who was only 24 at the time. In the summer of that year, the former co-stars had been spotted getting cozy all over New York City, and even had a very cute looking courtside date filled with PDA. But Billy wasn't the only cheater in that situation, as Claire also ended up breaking the heart of her longtime boyfriend Ben Lee to be with the actor. Their love affair didn't last long, however, and it's clear that all the heartbreak wasn't even worth it, because they ended up splitting up just 3 years later. Naturally, the ultra-private couple didn't discuss the reason behind their breakup, but the tabloids were happy to do so for them. Several magazines even claimed that Danes had left Billy for Hugh Dancy, but we'll never really know what happened. Years later, Claire said, quote, "I was just in love with him and needed to explore that. I was 24, I didn't quite know what those consequences would be." Number 2. Morena Baccarin and Ben McKenzie. The Homeland actress furiously denied rumors that she had been cheating on her husband at the time, Austin Chick. But when she got pregnant by her Gotham co-star Ben McKenzie, there was very little she could do to cover it up. And just like that, the cheating rumors were confirmed. Although the actress tried to shut down the allegations, according to a TMZ report, the divorce papers filed in 2015 by Austin show that he claimed that he was still sharing a bed with Morena when she conceived Mackenzie's baby. She did get a happy ending though, and eventually gave birth to Mackenzie's daughter Frances in March of 2016, just 2 weeks before her divorce from Austin was finalized, and went on to marry Mackenzie in June the following year. But did she at least feel a little bad for sleeping with her co-star while she was married? Well, not really. In fact, she told People magazine that working with him on Gotham was wonderful. Quote, "Ben's the sweetest. It's very nice to work with your significant other, especially when you're pregnant, because you know you'll get some extra TLC and get taken care of." I mean, yeah, I guess that sounds nice if you can ignore the question of how they met. Number 1. John Malkovich and Michelle Pfeiffer. The legendary actor John Malkovich caused intense scandal both on and off the screen when it came to filming 1998's Dangerous Liaisons with his co-star Michelle Pfeiffer. At the time, the actor had been married to actress Glenn Headley for 6 years, but that completely fell apart in the midst of his affair with Michelle. Interestingly enough, even the film's director, Stephen Frears, said, quote, "Dangerous Liaisons is about betrayal and lies and relationships unraveling. It was one of those times where reality and art intersect. It was overwhelming to John. Even for a man who delights in bad behavior, that was a difficult time. Not to mention the fact that John's older brother, Danny, told Entertainment Weekly in 1993 that when the actor came home with Michelle, that was the happiest that he had ever seen him. But even though John and his ex-wife got divorced in 1988, the affair didn't last long either, and they reportedly broke up not long after. But apparently Malkovich took the breakup very hard and reportedly cried for a whole year. The two of them must have really had something special, because he told The Guardian in 2008, quote, "It's hard to believe Michelle Pfeiffer ever said hello to me. I mean, if you can forget about the fact that he cheated on his wife, it's still romantic the way he talks about Michelle."
Starting off, we have Ariana Grande. Singer, songwriter, and actress Ariana Grande married Dalton Gomez in May 2021, but just after 2 years of marriage, Ariana and Dalton called it quits. In July 2023, a source told People that the pair separated earlier in the year and have been quietly and lovingly working on their friendship since. Now, just days before their split was announced, Ariana was seen without her engagement ring and her wedding band. Ariana officially filed for divorce from Dalton in September 2023, with him filing a response immediately following. But it has been revealed that the reason for the divorce was that Ariana cheated on Dalton with her Wicked co-star, Ethan Slater. But here's the thing, Ethan was also married and had a child. His now ex-wife Lily, who's since been openly critical of Ari, apparently visited Ethan on the Wicked set in April with their infant son. The following month, Ethan gushed about her in a Mother's Day Instagram post, but by July 26, he had officially filed for divorce. Now, their timeline is a little more messy, but there was definitely some infidelity involved here. Now, this has had the internet up in arms about Ariana now dating SpongeBob, as Ethan played him in the live-action musical. Up next is Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson has cheated on Khloe Kardashian many times, so here's a brief synopsis of their relationship. In 2016, Khloe and Tristan started dating, and in spring of 2018, Khloe and Tristan were getting ready to welcome their first child together when photos and videos were released of him kissing other women. A couple days after the reports came out, Khloe welcomed their daughter True, but then TMZ then posted a video from earlier in October 2017 that appeared to show Tristan kissing 2 other women at a hookah lounge. More cheating allegations surfaced from there, including in January 2019 when it was revealed that Tristan had kissed Kylie Jenner's close friend, Jordan Woods. It was then confirmed that Tristan and Khloe were dating again in August 2020, and they called it quits again in June 2021. Now, in December 2021, news broke that Tristan was involved in a paternity suit with personal trainer Mara Lee Nichols, and in January 2022, he revealed he was the father. Now, in July that year, multiple sources confirmed that Khloe and Tristan were expecting another child with the help of a surrogate. Now, the surrogate was already pregnant with the child when the news broke of Tristan's paternity scandal. Now, they kept the pregnancy a secret as long as they could to protect Khloe, and after the child was born, it seems like they are co-parenting but not together. Khloe gave him so many chances and he took advantage of that, and I truly hope that she doesn't give him another one, because at this point, it's just sad. On to Adam Levine. In 2012, Adam Levine began dating Behati Prinsloo, and they married in 2014, and in September 2022, it was reported that they were expecting their 3rd child together. But shortly after, Instagram model Sumner Stroh posted a TikTok video claiming that she had an affair with Adam that lasted for about a year. Screenshots and video recordings were used as proof, and in one screenshot, Adam was seen asking for permission to use her first name for his unborn child, which is just insane. Now, Adam denied cheating, but from the screenshots of the messages going around, it's pretty clear that he was. The day after the allegations, Adam took to Instagram to say that he messed up, he didn't have an affair, but that he crossed a line. Since then, 2 additional women, Alison Rosef and Markea, later came forward with screenshots of flirty messages the singer had sent them, and a 3rd woman, his former yoga teacher, accused him of texting her that he wanted to spend the day with her naked. Now, a 4th woman came out as well, and she told the Daily Mail that he would like and comment on her fitness stories, usually about her having the best butt in town. Now, this story was everywhere, and the whole internet turned against Adam. Then there's Ned Fulmer. One of the members of the internet group The Try Guys was exposed for cheating on his wife in late 2022.
2022. Ned Fulmer was the "I love my wife" guy, but in September 2022 he was exposed as a cheater. TikTokers posted photo evidence of what appeared to be Ned kissing one of his producers, Alex Herring. A fan also posted an Instagram photo with her and Ned, captioning it that she saw Ned and Alex together at a Harry Styles concert at the beginning of September. Rumors and proof were gathered, and later near the end of September, Ned confirmed that he had cheated on his wife, publicly apologized, and then got kicked out of the Try Guys. Now the affair had been going on for a while, as after all of this was exposed, another TikToker came forward saying that she spotted Ned kissing another woman and that she had some videos and photos of them. She said she messaged Ned's wife Ariel to make her aware, but Ariel never saw the messages. Let's talk about Gerard Piqué. In June 2022, it was reported that Shakira had recently dumped her partner of more than a decade, Gerard Piqué, after she caught him with another woman. The singer and the soccer star, who share 2 sons, soon confirmed their split, though they kept mum on the infidelity allegations. Now that changed in January 2023 though, when Shakira released a diss track that included lyrics taking shot at Gerard and his new girlfriend, who's 12 years younger than him. "You're acting so weird, I don't even recognize you. I'm worth 2 22-year-olds, Shakira sings. Now she then went on to insult his intelligence, but there is more. Reports also surfaced claiming Shakira was clued into the cheating because she returned home after a trip to discover that someone had eaten some of the jam she kept in the fridge in the home she shared with Gerard. He and their sons all hated jam, so it had to be someone else who ate it, and that was the girl he cheated on her with. Now that's a pretty good way to find out that someone is cheating on you. All I gotta say is iconic. Moving on to Amy Robach and TJ Holmes. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes were co-hosts of Good Morning America 3, What You Need to Know, and they had worked together since TJ joined the show in the year 2020. Now at the end of 2022, the Daily Mail published photos of the co-workers taken across several outings, from getting drinks at a New York City bar to loading up a car at a cottage upstate. It was confirmed that they were cheating on their significant others. Now neither of the broadcasters immediately addressed the photos or revealed whether they had split from their respective spouses. Now TJ had been married to his wife for 12 years, and Amy was married to her husband for 12 years as well. Now in January 2023, the couple decided to walk away from their positions as co-anchors after being caught in their affair scandal. Interestingly enough though, in December 2023, it was reported that their former spouses were dating each other. Now that is just a strange twist to this story. Now we have Tom Sandoval. Us confirmed in March 2023 that Tom and Ariana Madix split after nearly 10 years together after he cheated with their Vanderpump Rules co-star Raquel Leviss. Apparently Ariana learned about the affair when Tom and his band performed one of his new music singles live. Tom and Raquel visited his hometown of St. Louis in December 2022, but not to the knowledge of Ariana. Tom reportedly wanted to bring Raquel around his friends and family, though some declined to spend time with them and thought that the situation was inappropriate. He then posted an apology to his Instagram page saying, "I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt through this process. Most of all, I want to apologize to Ariana. I made mistakes, I was selfish, and made reckless decisions that hurt somebody I love. No one deserves to feel that pain so traumatically and publicly. I can only imagine how devastating this has been for Ariana and everyone around us. I feel really horrible about that. My biggest regret is I dishonored Ariana. I never meant to disappoint so many people, including our loving families and friends." Afterwards, there was the explosive Vanderpump Rules reunion, and it was just a big, huge yelling match. Now we have David Letterman. Late night show host David Letterman admitted to having an affair during a taping of Late Night. David had only been married to his wife for 6 months and together for over 20 years when he admitted to being intimate with women who worked with him on air, specifically his longtime assistant Stephanie Burkett. The affair came to light when Stephanie's boyfriend Joe Halderman, a producer at CBS, allegedly tried to extort David for $2 million in exchange for his silence. David got ahead of him though, setting up a sting with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which resulted in Joe's arrest. CBS issued a statement regarding the investigation, Letterman and David's decision to speak out on the show, seeing Mr. Letterman address the issue during the show's broadcast last night, and we believe his comments speak for themselves. Now to this day, David is still married to his wife. Next up is Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner first met on the set of the 2000 movie Pearl Harbor, but were in separate relationships at the time. Ben was engaged to Jennifer Lopez, and they were supposed to be married in 2003, but in 2004 they called off their engagement. Now Jennifer Garner was married to Scott Foley for 4 years, who she divorced in 2003. The pair then started a relationship and got married in 2005. They had 3 children and a perfect family until their nanny, Christine Azoyan, claimed that she and Ben had an affair. In 2015, sources told Page 6, amid reports of Ben's gambling and alleged cheating with other women, that the pair had drifted apart and had been in professional therapy for years. Now their split was announced a day after their 10th wedding anniversary, and they finalized their divorce in 2018, but remain on good terms. Now in a conversation with Vanity Fair, Jennifer had confirmed Ben's affair with the nanny. And lastly, we have Kristen Stewart. In 2012, photos of Kristen Stewart kissing Rupert Sanders, the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, were released and caused a frenzy. Now at the time, she was famously in a relationship with her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, while Rupert was married to his wife since 2002, model Liberty Ross. After the photos were released, both Kristen and Rupert released their own statements. Kristen said, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry." Now they broke up and got back together multiple times, but they broke up for good in May 2013. This broke the hearts of Twilight fans everywhere, and I can't imagine how Rob felt having to work with her still after all of this happened.
Starting off our list at number 10 is Anne Hathaway. She's known for a variety of her successful movies, but one of them she wasn't known for because she was fired and replaced. You might remember the movie Knocked Up, which came out in 2007 and starred Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl. Well, turns out Hathaway was the first one to be hired for the role of Allison in the movie, not long into filming, and became aware of the details of a childbirth scene that was needed to be filmed. She told the director and producers that she wasn't comfortable with the graphic scene and that she thought the depiction of it was disgusting. She got into an argument with the director because she wasn't willing to do it, so she was fired and later replaced with Katherine Heigl, who clearly had no issue filming the disgusting scene. At number 9 we have Ryan Gosling. Hollywood's heartthrob was also dismissed from a set, but not because of an argument. It's no surprise that the actor is praised for his ripped abs and chiseled face, but when he changed his look for a role, it backfired on him. Gosling was hired to play a key role in the movie The Lovely Bones, but later was fired from set. When he first got hired, he weighed about 150 pounds, carrying around his biceps and his six-pack of abs. But Gosling thought that he should be heavier to take on the dad role. He gained 60 pounds and started to grow out his beard. However, while on set, the director Peter Jackson had a very different vision for the part, so he let Gosling go and replaced him with Mark Wahlberg. You would think the director and actor would communicate a little bit better when it comes to the appearance of the character, but apparently not in this case. Not only did Ryan lose the part, but he also packed on the weight for no reason. Taking over the number 8 spot is Natalie Portman. She was first cast to take on the role of Juliet in the 1996 Romeo and Juliet movie. She was supposed to star alongside Leonardo DiCaprio, who was playing Romeo. But after filming began, the filmmakers realized that her young complexion made her look like she was a little girl next to Leo, which technically she was because Leo was 21 years old at the time and she was only 14 years old. Natalie admitted herself in later interviews that the scenes looked inappropriate and screamed child molestation. She was let go from set one day in a civil manner and was later replaced by Claire Danes. In at number 7 is Leah Remini, a well-known actress for her show The King of Queens and her recent movie with J-Lo, Second Act. She's also known for being one of the hosts on The Talk. The hosts seem to come and go on the talk show as headlines have flooded with various people being fired and replaced. Well, Leah is one of the many who was fired from the job in 2012. Apparently, Sharon Osbourne has power over the other hosts and also producers. The two of them often butt heads and had disagreements while on set with each other. Leah was unexpectedly fired from set one day, which made headlines because the feud went to Twitter. Sharon tweeted out that she had nothing to do with the actress getting fired. In 2015, Leah told Closer that Sharon thought her and her co-host Holly Robinson Peete were ghetto. Coincidentally, Holly was also fired not long after Leah was. In the number 6 spot is Selma Blair, known for her continuous role on the TV TV show Anger Management, where she co-starred with Charlie Sheen. The actress played Dr. Kate Wales, Charlie's therapist and friend, for 33 episodes over 2 different seasons. The two of them never got close, and she claims he is the reason she was eventually fired from the show. She complained to show management that he, and I quote, was a menace to work with. Deadline Hollywood reported that Sheen admitted to firing her through a text which she labeled her as a C-word. After she complained to the show management, she quickly realized her dismissal was in Sheen's control. His family company, Sheen Productions, helps make the show, so they took her complaints as talking behind the actor's back and criticizing his work. She went on to file a lawsuit against the production company, demanding that they owe her $1.2 million that she would have made on the show if she would have stayed. Halfway through the list at number 5 is Thomas Gibson, known for many of his roles but mainly for playing Aaron Hotchner in CBS series Criminal Minds. The actor had a huge reputation built from being on the show for so many seasons, but ruined it all by one mistake. The actor was fired from set after having an altercation on set with the executive producer Virgil Williams. According to TMZ, Gibson's termination was a long time coming. He was first ordered to attend anger management classes after he punched an assistant director in the face back in 2010. Sources say Gibson was, and I quote, aggressive and verbally abusive for years on the set of Criminal Minds. 6 years later, in 2016, he lashed out and kicked Williams after a heated argument over the script. They sent him home immediately, and originally just for a 2-week suspension, but the producers and network decided it was best to terminate him, so they did. And at number 4 we have Columbus Short, an actor who had made it by starring on the hit TV show Scandal. He played Harrison Wright on the series from 2012 to 2014, but was let go because of his drug addiction and trouble with the law. He was arrested for felony battery after a brawl took place at a bar, and also got arrested for a domestic violence incident involving his wife. Not only did the actor have legal issues, he also had troubles quitting his cocaine addiction. When it came to be too much, the show decided to let him go on set one day and killed his character off the show. Back in 2014, Short opened up about his addiction during an interview with Access Hollywood Live. He admitted, I quote, I'll be candid, I was struggling with drugs. I had a lot on my plate, and I was using unhealthy ways to kind of self-medicate and deal with a lot of heavy-duty stuff in my life. When they asked him what types of drugs he was abusing, his response was, I was doing cocaine and drinking a lot. He openly apologized to everyone involved with the show and also to all of his fans. Alright guys, at number 3 we have Nicolette Sheridan, known as one of the divas on Desperate Housewives. Although they were all considered to be divas, Nicolette might have been the biggest drama queen of them all. Reports say she constantly clashed with the show creator Mark Cherry, which led to her being dismissed from the show unexpectedly one day. Her character was killed off in April 2009 during one of the episodes, and Nicolette filed a lawsuit against Cherry and Touchstone Television for wrongful termination. She began to air out a bunch of dirty laundry, making claims that Cherry hit her in the head and that ABC fired her in retaliation for reporting the assault. Cherry admitted to touching her, but said it was only a demonstration of how to enact a comedic moment during a scene. The case went to trial, and the director stated that her character's death had been in the show's plan for months. He went on to say that her termination was because of differences and her unprofessional behavior. The trial ended with a mistrial, and the appeals were rejected. The actress was left out of a job and with no compensation. Here at number 2 we have Charlie Sheen. You can't even act like you are surprised to see him on this list. We all heard about how the actor went wild back in 2011, making jokes that it was tiger blood racing through his veins, which we later found out that it was cocaine. The actor began feuding with the creator of the TV show 2.5 Men, Chuck Lorre. Sheen took it to social media and began attacking him through tweets and nasty interviews by calling him a maggot and other derogatory terms. Sheen said in an interview that he was showing up to work the following Monday no matter what. Well, that didn't last long, because Lorre immediately fired the actor and stopped production for the remainder of the season. The 9th season continued on without him, with Ashton Kutcher taking the lead instead. Taking our number 1 spot is Mama June, known as the mom on TLC's show Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Let me just start off by saying, although she stars on her own TV show, she is not considered a talented actor in my opinion. It still shocks me that somehow she even got her own show in the first place. But in October 2014, news broke that she was dating a 53-year-old registered sex offender who allegedly molested her daughter. Her oldest daughter came forward as a victim of the molestation, but Mama June refused to give up her boyfriend Mark McDaniel. TLC stepped up and let her go on a day of scheduled filming and told her they would be canceling the entire show. She went on to start a weight loss journey, which landed her another show on WeTV TV called Mama June From Not to Hot. The show documented her life for 3 seasons, which showed her weight loss surgery and 300-pound weight loss. However, on March 13th of this year, she was arrested at a gas station in Alabama for drug possession. There are no further updates yet, but she may be fired from her second show. Starting off our list at number 10 is Ashton Kutcher. Don't freak out, the actor didn't cheat on his wife and mother of his children, Mila Kunis. He actually cheated on his wife that came before her, Demi Moore. The actress was 16 years older than Ashton and had 3 teenage girls when they first got together. When they got married, he was only 25 years old. The age difference had rumors flying that there was trouble in paradise when it came to their marriage. The majority of rumors were that Ashton was cheating on Demi with multiple different women. The rumors may not have stuck, but one alleged hookup sure did when there was proof. Paparazzi captured pictures of Ashton leaving his hotel, the Roosevelt, with Sarah Leal in the car with him. After the picture surfaced, Sarah came forward with the truth, saying that they hooked up in a hot tub in September 2011 on his 6th-year anniversary with Moore. During an interview with The Sun, she stated, and I quote, "We had sex twice, everything felt natural, we were having a good time, one thing led to another. He was good, it wasn't weird or perverted or creepy. I was attracted to him and he was attracted to me." She also went on to say that Ashton told her he was separated from Demi at the time when they hooked up. Needless to say, Ashton and Demi officially divorced not long after the truth came out. At number 9 is LeAnn Rimes. She's known for a bit of everything, acting, singing, and she's even recognized now as an author. She is a triple threat. However, one thing she isn't very good at is being faithful to her husband. Her cheating scandal caused a lot of controversy when photos of her kissing her co-star Eddie Cibrian at a romantic dinner together. Turns out Eddie was married too. The scandal made headlines back in 2009 when the footage was leaked from a restaurant security camera. The photo snapshots show the two actors holding hands, kissing, and cuddling up next to each other. Rimes was married to Dean Shermitt since 2002, and Eddie was married to Brandi Glanville since 2001 and even had 2 kids with her. Once both of their spouses were made aware of the cheating, they both pulled the plug on their marriage. LeAnn and Eddie eventually married each other in 2011. How romantic. Taking over the number 8 spot is Balthazar Getty. Most people remember this scandal because the picture went viral of the famous topless holiday cheating scandal. Back in 2008, the actor's career was in its prime when he starred in Brothers and Sisters. Not only was his career going well, but so was his marriage. He had a long-term marriage with his wife Rosetta Getty, and the two of them even had 4 children together. That was quickly ruined when he was caught having an affair with Sienna Miller. They were caught together in Italy on a vacation when topless photos of Sienna made headlines. Getty and his wife separated for 2 years after the incident, but decided to work things out. The actor and his wife opened up during an interview with People magazine and said that it actually made their marriage stronger. As for Sienna, she later dated Jude Law, who ended up cheating on her with their nanny. Karma? At number 7, we have Katharine McPhee. Her career first started in the music industry when she came in 2nd place during her season on American Idol. She later transitioned into the acting world when she landed a starring role on the television series Smash in 2012. During her time on the show, paparazzi managed to get some photos of Katharine and the director of the series, Michael Morris, kissing, which definitely wasn't part of her job description. Both of them were guilty because they were both married at the time. Michael was married to the mother of his 3 children, and Katharine had been married to a man named Nick Kokos for 5 years at that point. Her husband ended up filing for divorce, and the paperwork was finalized in 2014. Swiping the number 6 spot is Ryan Phillippe. For a long time, the actor was married to Reese Witherspoon, and they were one of Hollywood's most admired couples. They got married in 1999 and were together until 2006, where they had 2 kids together, a daughter and a son. The couple always came across as having the perfect relationship, which is why people were stunned when Ryan was photographed kissing another woman while he was still married to Reese. Photos made headlines of Ryan and the Australian beauty Abby Cornish having a public makeout session. In 2007, Ryan and Reese divorced as a result of the cheating scandal, and eventually Ryan spoke openly on his romance with his mistress. The two of them continued to be in a relationship together until 2010. Halfway through the list at number 5 is Elizabeth Taylor. The actress was part of a huge Hollywood scandal all the way back in 1962. It was one of the most scandalous and iconic headlines made during the time. Paparazzi caught Elizabeth spending some romantic time with Richard Burtman on a private yacht. The first photo appeared in June of 1962, and people were shocked seeing as as both of them had been married at the time. Elizabeth was married to her fourth husband at the time, Eddie Fisher, and Richard was married to his first wife, Sibel Williams. Once the pictures were out, the two of them left their marriages to be together. They became an iconic couple in Hollywood and got married only 1 year after the scandal on March 15, 1964. Their love story was legendary, but for all the wrong reasons. Here we are at number 4 with Hugh Grant. Even with photographic evidence, some actors are able to weasel their way out of the wrongdoings. But Hugh's photographs are not the typical kissing photo like anyone else on this list. Not only was he publicly outed for cheating on his girlfriend in 1995, he was also arrested because he had solicited an escort. His cheating scandal pictures, his mugshot, and hers. There is no way you're possibly talking yourself out of this one. Back then, Hugh Grant and his girlfriend Elizabeth Hurley were one of Hollywood's power couples, or so everyone thought. During the scandal, fans were shocked that Elizabeth actually stood by her man's side. It didn't last very long though, the damage had already been done and they split not too long after. Taking the number 3 spot is Kristen Stewart. Her scandal broke the hearts of many Twilight fans. She began dating her co-star and movie boyfriend Robert Pattinson while filming the Twilight series of movies. Fans were obsessed with their love story since they got to see it in the movies and also in real life. She ruined their love story when she was caught cheating with her Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders. The paparazzi leaked the photos in 2012, which showed the two of them making out in a car and snuggling up together on a deserted hike. Not only was Kristen in a relationship, but so was Rupert. He was married to Liberty Ross and also had kids with her. Robert, Liberty, and fans were all heartbroken by the shocking scandal. Kristen issued a statement saying, "I am deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob." The two of them split not long after, and Rupert's wife filed for divorce the following year. Alright guys, at number 2 we have Marlon Wayans, the actor who made big waves in the acting industry when he starred in White Chicks back in 2004, one of my favorite movies to this day. However, I am not too pleased with the actor after learning about his cheating scandal. The scandal happened in 2012 when he had been dating his girlfriend and mother of his 2 children, Angelica Zachary, for 12 years. Pictures made headlines that showed Marlon kissing and caressing a mystery brunette on a private yacht in St. Barth's. Some people were shocked while others stated that he's always had some commitment issues. During an interview with Wendy Williams before the scandal took place, he revealed that he and Angelica don't even live together, even though they have kids together. When asked why, he said, "I like to keep it fresh. When you live together, that's when the sweatpants and the cream on the face comes out and it kind of says you're not going to get some." How did he possibly explain this to his kids? He later admitted that once his kids found out about the cheating, they physically lashed out at him. Angelica decided to stick it out with him, but they ended up getting a divorce in 2013. Taking the number 1 spot is Kevin Hart. This one cut deep for me because he is one of my favorite comedians, so it's hard not losing any respect for him. Not only was Kevin married at the time of his cheating scandal, but his wife was actually pregnant. He was on a trip in Las Vegas when camera footage broke the internet showing the actor getting up close and personal with an exotic dancer. The footage was taken from a Vegas nightclub surveillance video. Once the footage was out there, Kevin came forward in a shocking Instagram video where he confessed his affair to his millions of followers to try and stop the mistress from trying to get money from him in exchange for her silence. At the time all of this was going on, his second wife was in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Turns out his wife was actually the mistress that broke up Kevin's first marriage, so their story is kind of a mess altogether. Kevin continued to publicly own up to his actions and apologize for his mistakes, which his wife actually forgave him for.